Which celebrity can just fuck off? Independent Taste 24 said, don't necessarily consider him a celebrity, but he's getting up there. Jake Paul can fuck off. Guck said, went to middle and high school with him. Not a pleasant dude. Bullied a bunch of random classmates. He bullied them anytime and anywhere, in the halls, class, or with the group of his also similar like douchebag friends. He would always prey on the quiet nervous ones. There were many times I saw he awkwardly steered people into lockers and he would ask random girls weird questions. He was that athletic popular asshole kid with well-off parents everyone knew that loved making everyone uncomfortable, in narcissistic manipulative way. He loved being loud, noticed, and known. He also bullied my gay friend while we were growing up. I never knew him personally, and I don't think I ever had any real interaction with him except for group projects and long ago classes. But I know many people, especially from our hometown where we all grew up with him until he moved to LA, who believe he doesn't deserve any fame or fortune he's made for himself. Guy is an underserving joke. Logan, his older brother, was a junior when I started high school with Jake. From the rare times I saw him, he was pretty quiet and I didn't hear much about him aside from the wrestling matches he won. He was pretty good at it. Rocker 3K said, can't forget where Chris Brown pulled the vehicle over on an unknown street, reached over Robin F. with his right hand, opened the car door and attempted to force her out. Brown was unable to force Robin F. out of the vehicle because she was wearing a seatbelt. When he could not force her to exit, he took his right hand and shoved her head against the passenger window of the vehicle, causing an approximate 1-inch raised circular contusion. Robin F. turned to face Brown and he punched her in the left eye with his right hand. He then drove away in the vehicle and continued to punch her in the face with his right hand while steering the vehicle with his left hand. The assault caused Robin F.'s mouth to fill with blood and blood to splatter all over her clothing in the interior of the vehicle. Brown looked at Robin F. and stated, I'm going to beat the shit out of you when we get home. You wait and see. The detective said Robin F. then used her cell phone to call her personal assistant Jennifer Rosales, who did not answer. Robin F. pretended to talk to her and stated, I'm on my way home. Make sure the police are there when I get there. Rocker 3K said. After Robin F. faked the call, Brown looked at her and stated, you just did the stupidest thing ever. Now I'm really going to kill you. Brown resumed punching Robin F. and she interlocked her fingers behind her head and brought her elbows forward to protect her face. She then bent over at the waist, placing her elbows and face near her lap in an attempt to protect her face and head from the barrage of punches being levied upon her by Brown. Brown continued to punch Robin F. on her left arm and hand, causing her to suffer a contusion on her left triceps, that was approximately 2 inches in diameter and numerous contusions on her left hand. Robin F. then attempted to send a text message to her other personal assistant, Melissa Ford. Brown snatched the cellular telephone out of her hand and threw it out of the window onto an unknown street. Brown continued driving and Robin F. observed the cellular telephone sitting in his lap. She picked up the cellular telephone with her left hand and before she could make a call he placed her in a headlock with his right hand and continued to drive the vehicle with his left hand. Rocker 3K said. Brown pulled Robin F. close to him and bit her on her left ear. She was able to feel the vehicle swerving from right to left as Brown sped away. He stopped the vehicle in front of 333 North June Street and Robin F. turned off the car, removed the key from the ignition and sat on it. Brown did not know what she did with the key and began punching her in the face and arms. He then placed her in a headlock positioning the front of her throat between his bicep and forearm. Brown began applying pressure to Robin F.'s left and right carotid arteries, causing her to be unable to breathe and she began to lose consciousness. She reached up with her left hand and began attempting to gouge his eyes in an attempt to free herself. Brown bit her left ring and middle fingers and then released her. While Brown continued to punch her, she turned around and placed her back against the passenger door. She brought her knees to her chest, placed her feet against Brown's body and began pushing him away. Brown continued to punch her on the legs and feet, causing several contusions. Robin F. began screaming for help and Brown exited the vehicle and walked away. A resident in the neighborhood heard Robin F.'s plea for help and called 911, causing a police response. An investigation was conducted and Robin F. was issued a domestic violence emergency protective order. That guy can definitely fuck right off. Legigner said. Taken from someone else, I can't figure out how to link on my phone. Just reposting this fantastic comment from 9 months ago courtesy of you Vulcan Hobo. She publicized the private healthcare information of Method Man's wife, broadcasting that she had cancer and the Method Man was having an affair with his wife's physician. Which was a lie. She's the one that spread the rumors that Tupac was raped in jail and had one testicle. She's proudly claimed that she doesn't let her teenage son close his bedroom door, ever. And that when her son walks in on her giving a blowjob to her husband, it was her son's fault for not walking loud enough to notify her ahead of time, and when he walks in, she just continued like there was nothing wrong there. After Kesha was ruled by a judge to complete her recording contract after alleging Dr. Luke sexually assaulted her, Wendy Williams said she questioned the validity of Kesha's accusations because she's like 30 years old or something and because she didn't have recorded proof of abuse. That's right, Williams basically told the world that sexual assault isn't sexual assault unless you have it on video. When the sexual abuse, alleged sexual abuse, started, why weren't they rolling camera on it? She asked. I mean, it's so easy. Like, men are so stupid that if you're sexually abusing us it's so easy to catch you. Legigner said. She got into it with Alyssa Milano on her show. Milano frequently posts photos of herself breastfeeding on social media, and has been outspoken about allowing mothers to breastfeed in public. Wendy Williams said to Alyssa Milano on her show, I don't need to see that. Because I just don't want to, and said that, for her, breasts are more sexual than a feeding thing, adding, I don't know why I feel this way. Breastfeeding is only a particular amount of time. The rest of your life, your breasts are sexual things. About Ariana Grande, Wendy Williams once stated that she could never think of Ariana Grande as a woman because she looked too young. Williams went on to say that Grande would forever look 12. Most of the time, if someone tells a woman that they appear younger than they are, it's taken as a compliment, but Williams made clear that she did not intend to flatter Grande in any way. And I don't mean that in a good way. It's nice to look younger than you are, but when you look too young and then you're short, she's only like 4 feet 11. About Nicole Scherzinger breaking up with Lewis Hamilton, she said it was sad to see Scherzinger spend 7 years of her life breaking up and getting back together. Specifically, Williams noted Scherzinger's age, she was 37 at the time, and very bluntly added, men, can have babies whenever they want. You know what I mean? Those are 7 years you can never get back. Legigner said. About Jennifer Lawrence's nude photos from the fappening, she told Vanity Fair, Jennifer Lawrence, you know what? Don't sweat this young lady, Williams started. I mean, you're the one who took the pictures. You don't look bad under your clothes, and I think the hack has actually made your career even hotter. About Paris Jackson saying she considers herself Black BC, that's what her father told her, and told her to be proud of her heritage, regardless of what she looked like. Williams mocked the teenager's statement, since Paris, whose mother, Debbie Rowe, is Caucasian, appears to have light skin. By the way, she considers herself Black, period. She's not going to address this again. She was raised Black. Her father would constantly remind her of what it means to be Black and proud, and so don't ask her again, William recapped. I get that she considers herself Black and everything, but I'm just talking about the visual because you know, Black is not what you call yourself, it's what the cops see when they got steel to your neck on the turnpike. It's what they see, she added, but that's cute, and good for her. About Selena Gomez and The Weeknd dating, first of all, they were spotted kissing outside of a restaurant in LA, the restaurant they were at, it's where you go when you want to be photographed. They just stand there all day with their cameras waiting to photograph somebody. Selena, you just got out of rehab for the umpteenth time. The Weeknd has admitted to being a substance abuser. If you're trying to stay sober, and you've got lupus and you're trying to be well and take care of yourself, the only reason why I could see that you would be with The Weeknd is because maybe he's writing music for you? Maybe you want to seem cool, or edgy. Legigner said. She tried to get Lil Wayne's music banned from the radio BC. She didn't like it. She went ahead and made that Lifetime movie about Aaliyah without the permission of her producers at the time, Timbaland and Missy Elliott, and without the permission of Aaliyah's family, stating, the family doesn't want the story to be told but we're doing it anyway. It's not told in a seedy, tasteless way, Williams said. Also, she stated, in my opinion, we did a great job telling the story that the family was scared to put out there, Williams said of the final project. Like Timbaland, Many fans of the singer have expressed their disappointment with the film on social media, accusing Lifetime of romanticizing Aaliyah's relationship with R. Kelly, whom she illegally married when she was 15 and Kelly was 27. She invited Whitney Houston for a radio interview, then point-blank asked her if she was currently smoking crack. She's publicly called Therese, Usher, LL Cool J, and Tyler Perry gay, without any proof. She's said that Beyoncé sounds like she has a 5th grade education. Also, there was the time she said Terry Crews was not brave for speaking about his sexual assault, and that it would ruin his career. And let's not forget when she recommended sabotaging your partner's contraceptive because he promised her 2 kids. Bluelin said, "Oh no. It's all kinds of illegal. In order for that to happen to a person, they have to prove they can't function in society. Like working a job. But since she's clearly working, and is able to defend herself in court, she's proved she's competent. So now they have to prove that A, they lied and bribed people in order to steal her money. Or B, they are forcing a severe mentally ill woman work just so they can steal money. Either one is going to look awful." Stantichrist said, "Sue sucks so much, I'll never forget her tweeting about watching Parasite and someone was like, as a rich person, what was it like watching that movie, and all of her unhinged fans lost their minds. LMAO. She also weaponizes those weirdos, sending them after anyone who criticizes her in any way by quote tweeting them instead of just replying, like when she made that writer's life hell just for saying her foodie list wasn't great. She's garbage." Zanksime said, "Ellen DeGeneres, Chrissy Teigen, Chris Brown, Cardi B, Piers Morgan, Donald Trump, Kanye West, the Kardashians and the Jenners, Ben Ifer, Alex Rodriguez, Demi Lovato, Amber Heard, Wendy Williams. Internet personalities, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, James Charles, Tana Mongeau, Nikita Dragun, Patrick Starr, Logan and Jake Paul, the Ace Family, Trisha Paytas, Gabby Hanna, David Dobrik. I'd list more, but I'd rather save my energy. Fuck them all." Historical Lemon 947 said, Amber Heard, who stole a rape victim's story, claimed she donated all of the divorce money to Children's Hospital and domestic violence victims, stating they needed it when it turns out she only said it to get publicity and kept it. Falsely accused her former partner of domestic violence. She faked bruises, so many witnesses against her, etc. She used her gender, saying nobody will believe Johnny, to which, in some extent, is right, considering some people without having done any court document research are oblivious to the fact he kept fleeing the fights and she'd scold him, call him a baby whenever he avoided physical altercations, and some people do not believe that a man can be a sole victim, well, because he's a man. Depp lost UK trial against a newspaper outlet in Nottingham. Judge's son worked for that said newspaper's outlet. Appeal judges of UK court have acknowledged that Depp hadn't returned physical altercations. All of this information is available online. Considering this is a public trial, anyone interested, please do research. Fabricated evidence. Left a turd on a bed, hence Amber Turd was born. Has been previously arrested for domestic violence, prior to Depp's relationship. Almost killed her ex, Depp, after throwing a bottle that critically injured Depp's finger. Claims to be supporting BLM yet made racist tweets and jokes, said the N-word, typical racist undercover. Historical Lemon 947 said, for some crazy reason kept her jobs whilst Depp lost his, even though she is the abuser. She makes sure to rub it into the faces of the public. Blames drugs on Depp whilst disregarding avoiding her own drug issues misuse, including alcohol addiction, to wine. Treated her former assistant like crap, used her child for public photos even when said assistant was not comfortable with it. Rolled her eyes and swallowed whilst being questioned about her being violent. Denies all charges, claims she is a full-on victim. Committed perjury in multiple countries. Her fault for illegally smuggling dogs knowing they weren't prepared, yet was fine with blame falling on Depp at the time. Admitted to physically abusing Depp, throwing crap at him and etc. There's honestly so much more. She's revolting. Terror Balia said. Demi Lovato. Fuck that entitled, disingenuous, self-aggrandizing douchebag of a cunt. When she wants attention she makes a documentary to low-key brag about overcoming adversity under the guise of a cautionary tale. I'd be more sympathetic if she didn't immediately run to a camera crew after she feels like she can get exposure. She publicly jumps on the latest trends by making an announcement, then puts a yogurt shop on blast for having low sugar options? Fuck you, you entitled whore. Ever think that people might have dietary restrictions? I'd tell her to eat a whole bag of dicks, but she already has. Fuck here. Fuck you. Fuck you, you attention-seeking twat. B.W. Bird said. Taking a risk here, but hey Hayao Miyazaki. Look, I love his work. My Neighbor Totoro and Kiki's Delivery Service are two of my favorite comfort movies, and everything else he's made is nothing short of art. But that man is such an asshole. He acts like his work is just inherently better than anything in Japan, thinks Americans haven't made any worthwhile animation since the 30s, and the way he treats some of his fans is just abhorrent. I'll still watch Miyazaki's movies and talk up his work, but I'd never want to meet him. 3 points to Nibador said. Amy Schumer. She is honestly the least funny person on this earth, and her jokes revolve around her vagina, sex life, the men she's with, or stupid sexist things that just shoot out of her mouth. She even steals so many jokes from comedians too, which involves her too, you guessed it, talk about her vagina. She even received an extremely second-hand embarrassment-inducing reaction from the crowd and a cold dead stare from Steve-O during the roast of Charlie Sheen on Comedy Central due to an outlandish and insensitive joke towards Steve-O about Ryan Dunn's death. It's astonishing she's still a popular comedian. User Avatar said. Caitlyn Jenner. Sorry if I misspelled her first name, I am too lazy ATM to Google it. Not here for that variety of disrespect. She is a trans woman who joined a party specifically to fight trans rights. The actual fuck kind of betrayal is that? Aligning herself with a party who tried to pass a bill to let people inspect kids' genitals so no trans kids got in school sports, a bill that would cause so much rampant abuse of trans and cis kids? Let alone that she's among the most well-known of us because she was an early celebrity to do it. So a lot of people's only exposure to trans people is a fucking traitor. Great. Fuck Caitlyn Jenner. Rakayak said. Doja Cat. Her racist jokes and comments against her own race on that tiny chat room with alt-right white supremacists, her song So High that includes lyrics making fun of Asians with slanted eyes. She initially apologized for it but deleted the tweet right after, and trolling fans and other popular musical artists to try and be funny on social media when it completely comes off as cringe. I don't deny her talents and her music isn't horrible by any means, but I will never understand why some girls absolutely stan her. Topless Oncologist said. Personally, South Park's episode about Tim does a good job from my perspective of explaining why he is garbage. Another celebrity who wants you to support their cause when they have enough money to make series change, yet try to manipulate you into feeling like garbage if you don't. In general, when celebrities, politicians, and our corporations who put the emphasis on you and me, the public, to donate or act on a cause, when they with their resources to do it themselves, especially with how much they make it seem like they care and you should help them achieve their goal, or garbage, they shift the blame onto the consumer, to focus away from them. For example, while every little bit does help, realistically and absolutely, the public trying to reduce emissions is going to be statistically irrelevant compared to major polluters and how much they put out actually putting the work to eliminate their emissions.